Hey everyone, this is Vikas from SmallAcademy and welcome to another part of our random image generator with free API using JSON data, obviously. So in the last video, we created this, we implemented the download button, and now in this video, we will go ahead and implement the information button here. Right now, the info button, if we click on this, it's just going to display this toast message. Now what I want to do is, whenever I click on this I button here, I want to extract the data of these breeds, and if this data is available, okay, so sometimes this breed data is not available, so this data will be empty. So in that case, we will perform the check, and if this data is empty, we will just display the data is not found, and if this data is available, then we will display the description, name, origin, and all other information. Okay, so let me show you the layout of this application. So let me go ahead and open the final application, that demo application I showed you in the beginning of this tutorial. And here, if I click on this, it says no data found. And as soon as if I get any cat images which is having this breed information, it's going to open new activity, and there it will display the information like name, description, origin, temperament, and this Wikipedia URL as well as the VCA hospital URL in the button. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement that in our application. So as I said, we will display that information in the new activity. So I'm going to create new activity here, and I will create the not that one, sorry, I will create the new empty activity. So go to activity and create new empty activity, and this is for the information. So I will just name it as info and click on finish. So once the Gradle sync process is done, we can go ahead and start working on this. So here, what I want to display is, I want to display the small cat image here, and with that image I will display the name of the cat, like breed name of the cat, and we will also display the country of origin, and after that we will display the description and temperament. And at the bottom we will have two buttons, one is for the Wikipedia URL and another one is for the more information URL, that is for the VCA hospital URL, which we will have here. I will design the UI here, and you can copy and paste this URL from the source code, obviously, which I will provide in the GitHub. So link will be in the description. You can go ahead and copy that UI code from there. But for now, I'm just going to implement that and maybe fast forward the video, because implementing UI take lots of time. So this is the UI that I'm going to display here. So you can see we have this image for the cat image, and we have this cat name, we have this cat origin, we have the description, and this text view is having the cat description ID, and this is the temperament, and it is having the cat temperament ID. And we have two buttons here, that is for the Wikipedia and for the more information. And whenever user click on Wikipedia, we are going to open the Wikipedia link in the browser, and if somebody click on more info, we will open the VCA hospital URL. You can see here this URL in the browser. Okay, so this is the simple UI that I want to use to display the more information when user click on the I button. Okay, so I will link this source code, UI source code, in the description, so you can just simply go there and copy and paste here. Okay, so that it will be easier for you to follow along with the video. Now let's go to the info.java file here and implement all these text view and image view here. So first we'll start by creating image view for the cat image, and we have text view for the cat name, cat origin, for the cat description, and for the cat temperament. I'll just name it as cat temp. Okay, and we have two buttons, so let me create button. One is for the wiki info and another one is for the more info. Okay, now let me go here and connect the XML resources. Let me start with the cat image. Find view by ID, added ID, cat image, Similarly for the cat name, and we will find the ID for that as well. Okay, cat origin, find view by ID, r.id, cat origin. Sorry, I need to give the equal sign here. Okay, we have cat descriptions. So find view by ID, r.id, cat description, and we have one more text view for the cat temperament. So find view by ID, r.id.cat temperament. And finally for the button, we have two buttons, wiki info. So find view by ID, r.id.wiki info. Okay, wiki button, and one more for the more information, r.id more info. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to send the data here into the info.java class whenever we click on the more info button. Okay, so all the breed information are available inside this on response. As I said, we are getting the data only after we are sending this array request, and after that we are getting the data into this response. So all these breed information are available inside this response, right? So similarly, we have to open the new activity inside this on response block here. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm setting the on-click listener on the info button, and here we will open the new activity. Actually, let me put this inside this try catch block so that we don't have to add this extra later. So now what I want to do is I want to extract the breed information and send that breed information to our info activity here whenever user click on this I button here. Okay, like that. So this is our application and it is not working right now. Okay, so to extract the breed information, I can follow the same idea here. So the breed information is nested JSON array. So we already have extracted data up to this JSON object. So now I can reference same data, same variable which contains this data. So the variable that contains all these data is this kitty data. Okay, so I can reference to this kitty data variable and I can extract the JSON array. So let me go ahead and do that. JSON array. I will name that breed info, and I can now reference kitty data and I can use get JSON array, and here I need to pass the key, and key is the one provided here, that is breeds. So I will paste it here. Okay, and it is asking me to surround with try catch block, so let's do that. Okay, even though we have it here, since it is into this separate block here, that's why it is not working. We need to add one more try catch block here. Okay, now this breed information is going to contain items, one more item, that is this JSON object, and that JSON object is going to have all the data we need. So here I will again create one more JSON object. Okay, don't get confused here. We have created this JSON array because we have this JSON array here. Okay, and now we need to create one more JSON object because this inside this JSON array we have this JSON object. Okay, and this JSON object is containing all the information that we want for our application. So that's why I'm creating one more JSON object variable here, and breed data. Let me name that breeds data, and I will reference using the breed info, and now I can use the JSON object. And since inside this object we have okay, so breed info is JSON array, and inside this JSON array we have this JSON object, right? It is having one item, that is JSON object. So I can reference that using 0, that is first index of our JSON array. Now using this breed data, I can extract all the information I need. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create new intent and I will create new intent, and this intent is going to go from this activity to info activity, info.class. And now I will pass the extra information with this intent. So I will pass the name, and I can reference to the name using this breeds data, and here I will pass the key, that is name, and this key is same as it is provided here, that is name. Okay, similarly now I will add few more data. So I dot put extra, and we have name, and second one thing I want to send is origin. So origin, and I can reference using breeds data, get string and origin. And next thing I want to send is description and temperament. So I will just copy and paste this 2 more times, and this is description and temperament. Okay, and this key I will copy from here. So this is temperament, paste here, and one more thing we need is description. I will paste that here because this key should be the same as it is provided in the JSON data. And we need few more things. We need to provide the wiki URL. So I will get the breeds data, get string, and that is for the wiki URL. So let me get the Wikipedia URL from here, that is the key. So paste it here. Okay, and one more thing is for the VCA hospital URL for the more information button. So I will paste that here, and more link is the key, and I will copy this from here. And finally I will start the activity and pass the intent, and this should start the new activity and send all this data. But sometimes all these data are not available, okay, because sometimes it might return this breed as empty array. So we need to handle that situation as well. So to handle that situation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this first, I'm just going to cut this first, and here I will check if the kitty data is null, and I will pass the key, that is breeds. Okay, so it's going to check if the array is null, array is having some value or not. So if this is null, then we will display the data not available message, data not found, and in another case else we will get the breed info and we'll start the activity. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this application to see if these things work or not. Okay, our app is running and we have this cat, and let me click on I, and nothing happens. And let me go to the log cat and just check what happens, what is happening here. Okay, so the information that I'm checking here is wrong. Instead of this kitty data, I need to actually check this kitty info, breed info. Okay, so here I will pass the 0 as the index, and now it should check if the breed info is having some information or not. So let me run this again. and if I click on this, it says data not found because maybe the data are not available. So as soon as it finds the cat with the information, it's going to open the new activity. Okay.